Everybody, thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about section 3-4, which deals with compensation during multiplication. Earlier in the year we talked about compensating when we add. Now we're going to talk about compensation with multiplication. And that's going to help us, hopefully, do a little bit quicker math in our heads mentally. This can be a tricky topic. I understand that. So I want you to listen carefully as I go through step by step on how to use compensation for multiplication. I'm going to start with this problem here, 804 times 3. To compensate, here's what I want to do. I'm going to write my first factor, 804. And then I'm going to put an equal sign. And what I want to do is round 804 to the nearest hundred, because that's the largest place value that it has. When I round 804 to the nearest hundred, it rounds to 800. As you can see, my equation is incorrect. I have 804 equals 800. That's not true. So what I have is an imbalanced scale. Okay? This side is a little bit higher than this side. So to get 800 up to 804, I'm going to also add 4. Now my equation is balanced. 804 equals 800 plus 4. So far, so good. My goal to start was to balance the equation 804, 804. Now what I'm going to work with are the two numbers over here, the rounded number and the number that I added onto it. What I'm going to do is do 800, and I'm going to keep this the same right here, times 3. And using the basic fact, 8 times 3, I know that equals 24. And I have 2 zeros at the end, for a total of 2,400. So I did this one. Now I'm going to do the 4. 4 times 3, which comes from up there, equals 12. So what I have here are two partial products. This is where compensation can at times be a little bit different. The operation I'm going to do with the two partial products comes from whatever I did up here. So in this case, you'll see I had 800 plus 4. So I'm going to do 2,400 plus 12. And again, the plus sign came from this operation right here. You'll see in this example, when I subtract over here, that this is going to be subtraction of partial products. And then I simply add the two partial products for a final product of 2,412. So that's an example of compensation when you have to add a little bit to get to the number you're looking for. This is going to be an example where you're going to subtract. So here I have 797 times 4. I'm going to write my equation. 797 equals, and then when I round 797 using my rules of rounding, it equals 800. My equation is not correct. I can't do anything to the 797, so I'm going to do it to the side that I rounded on. I need to bring this side down a little bit to equal 797. So 800 minus 3 equals 797. Now the two sides of my equation are equal. What I'm going to do is do my 800 times 4, and again, that comes from being up top, which equals 3,200. And then I'm going to do again 3 times 4. My 3 coming from right here, my 4 coming from my original problem, and that equals 12. Now here's where this problem differs from the last one. What I did here was subtract when I had my rounded number to get down to my target number. I subtracted here. Since I subtracted up here, I'm also going to subtract on the bottom. 3,200 minus 12, 0 minus 2 I can't do. I look next door to my 0. He can't help me. I look next door. I have a 2, so I'm going to buddy these guys up. 20 is going to turn into 19. And my 0 here becomes a full 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 1 is 8. 1 minus 0 is 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. So my final product is 3,188. Again, compensation can be a little tricky. It takes some practice. Remember, you want to start with your bigger factor, round it. Then when you round it, you want to make both sides of the equal sign equivalent. 797 equals 800. To make this true and equivalent, I needed to subtract 3 in this case. Over here, 804 equaled 800. To make this equal, I needed to add another 4 to this side. I take the two numbers I used from my problem above, my 800 times 3, my 4 times 3, and then the operation that I did here is what I do below to my partial product. Since I added up here, I'm going to add here. Since I subtracted it down here, I'm going to subtract down here. I hope that helps you understand a pretty difficult concept when it comes to compensation. Thanks for watching.